time to most. 9 p.m. got to wonder why the clock is ticking me to a ghost.
Nardin Academy is a 156-year-old Academy of Education institution founded by the Daughters of the Heart of Mary. And there's 100 reasons why I love Nardan.
People are happy to be here every day and happy to be working here. You know, I feel like it's a privilege to be here.
Absolutely. And definitely in this picture. Bruce is way
It's
bigger
just
than
a
Mark,
special place because everybody is helpful and feels like they belong, and I really feel like they do a great job at striving to be the best place they can be for everybody, staff and students and parents and everybody involved.
For me, I was retired, and I've told people that coming to Nardan has been a great experience because I'm actually have retired to the best place I've ever worked.
The longevity of teachers at Nardan, in high school in particular, the average is about 18, 19 years that people have been here.
And I don't wanna wait for something sure.
So we have kids, we have children from 18 months old up to 19 years old. So a Montessori school filled with little children, and that's co-ed. We have an elementary school that's co-ed, and then we have an all-girls high school. So about 950 students of all different ages and walks and, you know, personalities, and oh my gosh, they're fabulous.
Why don't you grab a pencil? Before I realized how horrible it was.
In 35 years of teaching, I've seen and monitored in cafeterias, elementary, middle school, high school, and there have always been a couple things that bothered me.
You know, you feed them one way at home and then they come to school and get frozen chicken fingers and a bunch of starch on a plate. Or French fries and cookies and pizza, because obviously kids are going to make those choices if left to their own devices.
Processed food, both from fast food restaurants and, unfortunately, in most cafeterias in the United States, have addicted our kids to unhealthy eating, and schools have been complicit in that, but fortunately schools can also change that.
It started out as the Healthy Eating Initiative about 3 years ago, and it was just a group of faculty and staff who got together, formed the Healthy Eating Committee. We had a food service provider at that time, and a member of their management team joined us. And during that time, we were in the middle of a kitchen renovation, and we got all the way through that process to a full architectural design, and we were selecting equipment. And I asked a question one day. I said, why are we buying this piece of equipment, and what does this do? And I was told that the equipment would help drive the menu. And I thought that that sounded strange, and I said, wouldn't we decide on the menu before we decided on the equipment, what we want to serve? And they said no. And so I went to my boss, President Sullivan, and I said, we have to halt the presses. I don't know what we're cooking. So we stopped everything, and we were fortunate enough to have a parent here who had joined our healthy eating committee the year before and was aware of a gentleman by the name of Greg Christian from Beyond Green Partners.
Greg's enthusiasm is very infectious.
He's really got his finger in the pulse of the school.
He's knowledgeable. He has a great manner with people.
You need a map. So we have Greg Christian.
The way he explains things, it totally makes sense. And even if you think, I don't know if you could possibly do this, you see that it can work.
Heaping one of these one time. Yes. So it's 4 ounces by weight. But let's look at that one more time. Give me a heaping thing here. That's 2 ounces of sauce, that's 1 ounce of lettuce. So the plate, Sue, should look like this. Okay. Our food system is completely built on the overuse of water and oil. And more it uses chemicals. That doesn't really serve people. Or they were considering building a new $500,000 kitchen. The food service company that was here said, if you build a $500,000 kitchen, things will get better. And I came and did an assessment and told them that even with a brand new shiny kitchen, the food's probably not going to get any better. So I suggested that they get into the food business like schools used to be. Schools used to make their own food. So we've hired a team of cooks, and we're buying fresh food, not frozen, processed, or canned, and we're cooking every day real food. I'm brought in to get this started. I built the roadmap, the 5-year roadmap on what we're doing here, and I'll be in and out for the next 5 years.
Does anybody have any questions from yesterday about the garbage? No questions? What's the question? It was awesome. Thank you.
We're going to have real numbers here after the first semester, and I'm going to show the world that this doesn't cost any more money. Because in the current system, when you eliminate the waste, there's money and time to cook from scratch. In a sustainable kitchen, we have to measure waste at every turn. That's the first thing that has to happen. So we're measuring food waste in 3 areas. Production waste, overproduction waste, like if we make too much food and it doesn't get eaten, and plate waste every day. Here, young lady. This is for food only. Yeah, food, waste back there, food.
And one of the questions we asked the kids today was, how many pounds of waste do you think that we generate as a school in the cafeteria on a given day? And they started with like 10 pounds. And it was interesting because they had no idea.
And I don't think any of us think we waste that much. So the realization of how much are we wasting and where could we make some changes will be dramatically shown. It's that idea of a picture's worth 1,000 words. You can say it to people till you're blue in the face. When they see it right in front of them, it can make them take a step back and really evaluate what they're doing.
It's great with the clear containers for them to see, wow, this is how much. You know, as Greg says, we need to take this into a classroom and say, look, this is what you threw away today. You know, and think about ramifications of that.
And one thing I've made clear to Nardan and anywhere where we work is that we can't put all the responsibility on the cafeteria to get kids to eat better or to teach kids how to make healthy food choices. They need a garden to connect with Mother Earth, to connect with their food source, and they need to learn about it in the classrooms all year. not just Nutrition Week like in America today.
When you say you want to do a scratch-cooked kitchen, you're trying to accomplish many things. You're trying to accomplish hit nutritional goals. You're trying to build a sense of community. You're trying to offer caring and warmth through food. You're trying to build a rapport with people all over the sustainability issues. So we're all saving the world.
I'm so glad that Nardan is saying this is important and we want you to teach about food in the classroom, because it's a life lesson. It's not for the state test. It's not going to be forgotten this year. Hopefully it will be reinforced throughout their time here at Nardan.
We're hoping to make our students more aware of the fact that what they eat, what they're doing, the waste that they have, all of that impacts our world.
Beyond Green has been the helping hand that gets you out of the gate. So they get you to your point of understanding. What do you want to do? So Greg comes in and he says, what is your goal? And then you start babbling about all the things that you want to do. And he says, okay. He doesn't look at you like some of the other people you've said this to a few times.
You could say, well, you know, we're a private school and we can afford to do it, but many of the schools that have really gotten into this, are pioneers in this, are urban schools, schools that don't have a lot of money because they realize that it's actually saving money.
Can other schools do it? Absolutely.
Can any school district afford to do it? Yes. Can any afford not to do it? I think that's the real issue now. Everybody needs to get on board with this.
The world needs our help. So let's just start over. That's what I say. There's this baby step conversation in this arena. And the older I get and the more I do this, I talk baby steps, but I'm thinking like, let's just start over. We're starting over here.
I would say my expectations have definitely been met. They've been exceeded.
I think it's more than I expected, especially in the green aspects of it.
We're selling more and more food. And the kitchen staff is solidifying. And more teachers are buying the food. That's always a good sign.
We did do an analysis just this week. We figured out that 73% of the food we serve is actually the better choice or the more preferable.
The other, and then 9% are beverages, and then the rest is what I'll call less preferable food. Fries, cookies, chips, ice cream. So to me, we're doing really well in that arena.
past 3.5 years I worked for a huge corporation, and it was a lot of production and a lot of volume and a whole lot of waste as well. You know.
Let's talk about waste for a minute, right? We removed all of our garbage cans and people said, oh my gosh, that's going to be crazy. We used to have 10 giant brown garbage cans in the cafeteria, and we removed them all, and there are now 3 or 4 small plastic tote size bins, little tiny things.
By weighing all the waste, you can see what you're losing, what you're using out of the volume that you're cooking, and then, you know, hopefully down the road, you're going to see a lot less of that waste in the buckets.
And I'm gonna put my guys with just a tire with these, and only the
It's really exciting to see the kids buying into it, right? And talking about it.
The change is like overall better for everything. Like there's so many like positive factors because it's good for us because like we're eating healthier, and then it's also good for the earth because like we're not like just dumping everything out without like second thought.
I hope that we're the stone that makes the little ripple that grows and grows and grows. I believe that it sounds challenging, and it is a challenge, but it's a noble challenge, and it is not as unattainable and labor intensive as people think that it is, and it's not only for an elite system or an elite group of people. I think it's something that can be implemented at all levels.
I love it. I love teaching it. I love bringing it to schools because when it's happening correctly, the farmers win, the farm workers win, the environment wins, the students win, the parents win, the school wins, everybody wins. So I wouldn't be doing anything else. I'll be doing this the rest of my life.
And I don't wanna wait for something sure. And I don't